Welcome back. Today's been a real productive day for me as far as videos are concerned. I don't know why I have so. Well, I mean, I know why I always have so much to talk about. Um, all right, so today's video is going to be about therapy. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be fun. Let's get to it. All right, so this is what we're going to talk about today. I think that there are more people that need to be in therapy, and this isn't a judgment thing. I don't want anyone to think that that's like a judgment that I have on people. I'm personally seeking therapy because, as adjusted as I seem in this video, I need to talk to somebody about stuff. And while this is therapeutic, there are still things I need to work through. Some things I'm sure I'll open up about on the channel. I mentioned I have a video up about September 11th. That's one of the things. Um, but I think more people need to do it. I'm not sure why people have the thought process they do. I mean, it's very similar to talking to a friend, right? But it's more of talking to a friend who knows how to process and be a third party who can hear what you're saying, acknowledge what you're going through, and not immediately side with you the way that a friend would. Like, oh man, that person, I can't believe they wronged you, or that thing that was not great, and how dare it, and help you maybe process through things in a way that you weren't thinking previously. Okay. I think that with the coronavirus, with COVID 19, with everything that's been going on, with the last 2 years is currently 2021, so infer what you will from what I mean the last 2 years. People need to talk to someone, and not just the people they're with, because people have been in lockdown and with the people that they're with all the time, and some people are really ready for that to end. Like they really want to go back to work, and what their idea of normal and status quo was, because they are not vibing with the idea of just staying in the house. Like, oh, I'm with my kids and my family all the time. All right, sure, because I have to. They're telling me to stay in the house, so I mean, I've got no choice. But some people would prefer to go outside, and I get it. Some people want to be outside. They're not, introverts that just want to stay in the house and read a book or watch TV all the time. But I do think that a lot of people need to talk to someone. It would be helpful to vent about, the things that are going on with work, the things that are going, if they lost their job. The weather has been pretty crazy in 2021. So talk about, if they lost a home, or there was like, something crazy that happened that they want to talk about, like just a car accident, anything that happened that they were like, hey, this is something I need to process through. The people I know are obviously going to side with me. They're going to say, hey, this was terrible what happened. I can't believe this happened to you. Let's rage against the void and say how terrible it was. But maybe to have someone who's there, who's able to say, okay, here are the things that you're processing through, and then trying to work through with you, like, okay, accepting the things that have happened, accepting how you are going to move forward, and kind of processing like how you're going to take the day to day and get to tomorrow. Okay. With all of that, I will say it's okay to be sad. Sad things happen. It's not the greatest when they do, but they do happen. Um, and when they happen, I mean, it's okay to be sad. I'll say this: I'm still getting over the idea that me just being sad is okay. Like with a lot of things. I mean, I mentioned in the September 11th video. There's some other things going on, but it's okay to be sad. Like it's okay for me to be sad. I'm still getting comfortable with that, because the idea of just being sad all the time, there's this thing in the back of my head, and I'm not sure if any of you have dealt with the same thing, but you have this like, just tough it out. Like I can compare myself to other people who are going through worse, and like, how dare I be, sad of the things that I'm going through. Like there are people dealing with illness, there are people dealing with, homelessness or losing their job or anything, and I have it, not that bad, so I should just, count my lucky stars. And I mean, while rationalizing is fine, I mean, if that's the way that you want to cope and deal with everything, that's okay. I don't judge anyone for it. But I also recognize that for me, it just feels like I'm diminishing any and everything that I'm going through by saying, hey, this stuff, it's not as bad as other people. I'm not saying it's the worst stuff that's ever happened to anyone. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination I've gone through a life that's worse than anyone in particular. But I have gone through things that I do need to be able to deal with, and I feel I am valid in feeling sad about a lot of the things. So there's that. Okay. So again, this video is to say I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I'm going to be in therapy. I'm going to talk to someone. I'm going to work through my stuff. If you're a person who's been uncomfortable about it, there's cultural issues, there's, identity issues with like what it means if you're going to therapy as a person and all of that. I'm telling you, I'm going through it. I am on a public forum saying I'm going to therapy. I'm talking to someone because I'm dealing with stuff. There's a lot going on. I can't process it all myself. I can talk to friends and family about it, but that will do but so much. And I know that there are people out there, or I'm sure there are people in the comments and just watching the video like, what about religion? That can be the thing that's your therapy. It works for some people. And I'm not saying anything in a religious context. That has nothing to do with this video in particular right now. I'm just saying that I think therapy is something that could help. Like to have someone that you're talking to on a consistent basis and working through things with. I think that that's helpful. Anyone who is thinking about it, because in the comments, you guys are real silent in the comments. I feel like I'm a comedian that's up on stage and I'm not doing great. Like I'll keep going. I'll keep telling the jokes. I got all the dad jokes in the world, but everybody in the audience like, oh man, I'm glad I'm eating these chicken tenders, or I've got this drink that I'm drinking, because I'm like, yeah, comments below, and people are like, nah, I'll watch it. It's fine. You guys can comment. I'm fine with it. You can say whatever you want, even if it's not on topic to what I was saying. You're just like, hey man, I don't like the background, or why don't you have pictures, or I don't know, why'd you shave? I shaved because it was more comfortable than keeping the beard. It was getting kind of scraggly. And the same thing with the hair. I just buzzed it all off because it was just whatever. So there you go. That's the explanation for that. You got other questions? Why don't you show more than your neck and your like the top of your shoulders? Whatever. You can say whatever you want. I mean, I would like it if people like we had a dialogue, we kind of back and forth. But you can say anything. I'm open to all of it. The hagglers of of YouTube videos, if you will. Say whatever you want to say. I want to engage with people. That's my hope. There we go. I don't even want you to comment anything like suggestions of stuff that just in the comments below. Just say anything. Say the word anything. Then I know you've watched this far into the video. There we go. Do that. If you've watched this far in the video, just comment anything. Then I'll know that you got to at least the 7-ish minute mark. And I'll be happy that you just decided to stick with me for 7 minutes. And then also decided to comment. And specifically comment when I asked you to comment. That's even great. Then I know I'm really getting people to engage. Hooray.